In the third regular session of the 18th Congress is hereby called to order. Senator Franklin M. Drilon, the Minority Leader, will lead the chamber in prayer.
Mr. President, let us put ourselves in the loving presence of the Lord. Father, as we hold today's session, we lift our hearts to seek you first and praise you for this day and your purpose for it. We humbly ask that in moments of challenge and decision, attune our hearts to the whispers of your wisdom. As a nation, we have gone through a lot in the past year, but as we come before you today, we are in much better shape. We are grateful for what was learned and what was accomplished. We lift all gratitude and glory to you. Lord God, healer of all, we thank you for bringing us hope, even through the toughest of times. We pray that care and compassion be part of our lives and that our hearts be unified in you more than ever. Ever living God, you continue to give us hope of a brighter future and set us free from all evil passion. We ask this in your most holy and gracious name. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang mag-ibig, dalas ng silanganan, alam na puso, sa dating mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tulad ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulubi, di ka pasisingil, sa lahat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong baga. May dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang isla ng wataman mo'y tagumpay na nagtitinig. Ang bituin ng araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw na luwalhating pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya dapat may mga api, ang mamatay lang dahil sa'yo.
The Secretary, please call the roll.
Roll call of members. The Honorable Senator Angara.
Present.
Senator Binay.
Present.
Senator Cayetano. Present. Senator De Lima. Senator De La Rosa. Senator Drilon.
Present.
Senator Gatchalian. Senator Go.
Present po, present.
Senator Gordon.
Present.
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 Senator Ontiveros.
Present.
Senator Lacson. Senator Lapid.
Present.
Senator Marcos.
Present.
Senator Pacquiao. Senator Pangilinan.
Present.
Senator Pimentel III.
Present.
Senator Poe. Senator Recto.
Present.
Senator Revilla Jr. Senator Tolentino. Senator Villanueva. Senator Villar. Present. Senator Zubiri. Senate President Soto III is present.
With 10 senators physically present and 13 senators virtually present for a total of 23, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And it's nice to see that here in the Senate, it looks a lot more livelier than before. Hopefully, that's a sign of the times that indeed this pandemic is coming to a close, hopefully. But of course, not to let our guard down, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we dispense with the reading of the journal of the 22nd session, Wednesday, September 29, 2021, and consider the same as approved.
Any objection? Chair hears none. The journal is approved.
Mr. President, we have a very long reference of business. Maybe we can take it up after the caucus.
Yes,
Um,
best that we do that.
But before we take up the caucus, because we'll need 16 votes for one of the measures, as it is a treaty, let us proceed with the third reading of these measures first, Mr. President, before we proceed.
I will take it that you are moving for the
Yes.
deferment of the reference of business.
Yes, Mr. President, till
All
after the
right, and
caucus.
there is no objection. We defer the reference of business. And we proceed with item number 6 of the agenda, the approval of third reading. You may proceed, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, for the record, the copies of these bills or these measures were electronically distributed to senators October 4, 2021, complying with the 3-day rule of the Constitution. Therefore, I move to approve on third reading Senate Bill number 1947, Mr. President.
Any objection? Chair hears none. The secretary will read the title of the measure, conduct a roll call vote.
Senate Bill number 1947, an act creating the Office of the Judiciary Marshals, defining its functions and powers, appropriating funds therefore, and for other purposes. Roll call vote, the Honorable Senator Angara,
Yes.
Senator Binay,
Yes.
Senator Cayetano, Senator De Lima, Senator De La Rosa, abstain, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Drilon,
Yes.
Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go,
Yes.
Senator Gordon,
Yes.
Senator Ontiveros,
Aye.
Senator Lacson, Senator Lapid,
Yes.
Senator Marcos,
Yes.
Senator Pacquiao. Yes. Senator Pangilinan,
Yes.
Senator Pimentel III,
Yes.
Senator Poe, Senator Recto. Yes. Senator Revilla Jr., Senator Tolentino, Senator Villanueva, Senator Villar. Yes. Senator Zubiri. Yes. Senate President Soto III.
Yes. With, sino hindi? With 22 affirmative votes, no negative votes, no abstention, Senate Bill #21. One abstention. All right. With 21 affirmative votes, no negative votes, one abstention, Senate Bill 1947 is approved on third reading. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations to Chairman Richard Gordon for this measure, and to the Supreme Court as well. Mr. President, I move that we proceed with the next item of the agenda. I move that we approve on third reading proposed Senate Resolution number 832. It is the concurring of the accession of the convention to temporary admissions, Mr. President. It is a treaty, therefore we need a total of 16 votes passed. So moved.
Any objection? Chair hears none. The Secretary will read the title of the measure and conduct a roll call vote.
PS Resolution number 832, resolution concurring in the accession to the Convention on Temporary Admission. Roll call vote, the Honorable Senator Angara,
Yes.
Senator Binay,
Yes.
Senator Cayetano, Senator De Lima, Senator De La Rosa, yes, Senator Drilon,
Yes.
Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go,
Yes.
yes, Senator Gordon,
Yes.
Senator Ontiveros,
Aye.
Senator Lacson, Senator Lapid,
Yes.
Senator Marcos,
Yes.
Senator Pacquiao, yes, Senator Pangilinan,
Yes.
Senator Pimentel III,
Yes.
Senator Poe, Senator Recto, yes, Senator Revilla Jr., Senator Tolentino, Senator Villanueva, Senator Villar,
Yes.
Senator Zubiri. Senate President Soto III.
Yes. With 22 affirmative votes, no negative votes, no abstention, proposed Senate Resolution 832 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. With,
Mr. President,
Senator Ralph Recto is
oh,
recognized.
yes, Mr. President.
thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to manifest that I will submit my explanation of vote on SB 1947 to the Secretariat. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, we place that on record. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. As requested by our colleagues that move to suspend the session for a few minutes to allow a caucus, so we can, all-member caucus, so we can discuss scheduling, the budget, et cetera, Mr. President.
All right,
So moved.
the session is suspended, and we ask the EDP to program the launch for a caucus. Session suspended. Resume.
Thank you,
Sure,
Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we proceed with the reference of business.
Secretary will proceed with the reference to business.
Reference of business, message of the President of the Philippines, letter of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte dated September 29, 2021, certifying to the necessity of the immediate enactment of House Number 10153, entitled An Act Appropriating Funds for the Operation of the Government of the Republic of the Philippines from January 1 to December 31, 2022, in order to address the need to maintain continuous government operations following the end of the current fiscal year, to expedite the funding of various programs, projects, and activities for fiscal year 2021 and to ensure budgetary preparedness that will enable the government to effectively perform its constitutional mandate.
Referred to the Committee on Rules.
Messages from the House of Representatives. Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 30 September 2021, it designated Representatives Villanueva, Go, Babasa Jr., D, and Co. as conferees to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing votes of House Number 8882, entitled An Act Revising the Charter of the City of Baguio.
To the Committee on Rules.
Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 29 September 2021, it adopted Senate Number 2407 as an amendment to House Number 9913, titled An Act Clarifying the Income Taxation of Proprietary Educational Institutions, amending for the purpose Section 27B of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended.
To the Archives.
Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 29 September 2021, it adopted Senate Number 2364 as an amendment to House Number 8320, entitled An Act Recognizing CCF Life Academy Foundation, Inc. as an educational institution of international character, granting certain prerogatives to hasten its growth as such and for other purposes.
To the Archives.
Letters from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 29 September 2021, it concurred with the Senate amendments to the following House bills: House Number 4954, an act establishing a national high school in Barangay Maganhan, City of Baybay, Province of Leyte, to be known as Maganhan National High School. House Number 4955, an act establishing National High School in Barangay Punta, City of Baybay, Province of Leyte, to be known as Punta National High School. House Number 9422, an act granting Maynilad Water Services, Inc. a franchise to establish, operate, and maintain a water supply and distribution system and sewerage and sanitation services in the West Zone Service Area of Metro Manila and Province of Cavite. And House Number 9423, an act granting Manila Water Company, Inc. a franchise to establish, operate, and maintain the waterworks and sewage system in the East Zone Service Area of Metro Manila and Province of Rizal.
To the Archives.
Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 29 September 2021, it designated Representatives Deloso Montalia, Romualdez, Escudero, Benitez, Zubiri, and Fortun as conferees to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing provisions, House Number 7836, an act providing for stronger protection against rape and sexual exploitation and abuse, increasing the age for determining the commission of statutory rape, amending for the purpose Act Number 3815 as amended, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code, and the Republic Act Number 7610 as amended, otherwise known as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act, and Senate Number 2332, an act increasing the age for determining statutory rape and other acts of sexual abuse and exploitation to protect children, amending for this purpose Act Number 3815 as amended, also known as the Revised Penal Code, Republic Act Number 8353, also known as the Anti-Rape Law of 1997, and Republic Act Number 7610, also known as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act.
To the Committee on Rules.
Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 30 September 2021, it designated Representative Brosas as additional conferees to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing provisions of House Number 7836, an act providing for stronger protection against rape and sexual exploitation and abuse, increasing the age of determining the commission of statutory rape, amending for the purpose Act Number 3815 as amended, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code, and Public Act Number 7610 as amended, otherwise known as Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, Discrimination Act, and Senate Number 2332, an act increasing the age for determining statutory rape and other acts of sexual abuse and exploitation to protect children, amending for this purpose Act Number 3815 as amended, also known as the Revised Penal Code, Republic Act Number 8353, also known as the Anti-Rape Law of 1997, and Republic Act Number 7610, also known as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act.
To the Committee on Rules.
Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 30 September 2021, it reconsidered the approval on third reading and withdrew from the Senate House Number 10171, entitled An Act Institutionalizing the 1989 University of the Philippines Department of National Defense Accord, amending for the purpose Section 11 of Republic Act Number 9500, otherwise known as the University of the Philippines Charter of 2008.
Referred to the Committee on Higher Education, Higher Technical and Vocational Education.
Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 30 September 2021, it passed House Number 10153 entitled An Act Appropriating Funds for the Operation of the Government of the Republic of the Philippines from January 1 to December 31, 2022, in which it requests the concurrence of the Senate.
To the Committee on Finance.
Bills on first reading, Senate Number 2426, an act granting Philippine citizenship to Liang Wu, introduced by Senator Zubiri.
To the Committee on Justice.
Senate Number 2427, an act granting Filipino citizenship to Mr. Patrick Francois Renucci, with all the rights, privileges, and prerogatives appurtenant thereto, introduced by Senator Zubiri.
To the Committee on Justice.
Senate Number 2428, an act capacitating employees to avail of loans and improve credit scores by entering into salary deduction agreement with employers and creditor banks where they maintain a payroll account, amending for its purpose Article 113 of Presidential Decree Number 442 as amended, otherwise known as the Labor Code of the Philippines, introduced by Senator Lapid.
To the Committee on Labor.
Senate Number 2429, an act designating the National Music Competitions for Young Artists, NAMSIA, as the National Youth Development Program for Music, defining its role and functions as such and appropriating funds therefore, introduced by Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committees on Youth, Basic Education, Ways and Means, and Finance.
Senate Number 2430, an act amending Section 490B3 of Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991 as amended, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committee on Local Government.
Senate Number 2431, an act providing for a uniform warehousing and inventory system for all government procuring entities, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 9184, otherwise known as the Government Procurement Reform Act, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committee on Finance.
Senate Number 2432, an act amending Section 9, Book 5, Title 1, Subtitle 8, Chapter 2 of Executive Order Number 292, otherwise known as the Administrative Code of 1987, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committee on Civil Service.
Senate Number 2433, an act amending Section 53 of Republic Act Number 9184, otherwise known as the Government Procurement Reform Act, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committee on Finance.
Senate Number 2434, an act amending Section 17, Chapter 5, Title 1, Book 3, and Section 27, Chapter 5, Title 1A, Book 5 of Executive Order Number 292 of the Administrative Code of 1987, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committee on Civil Service.
Senate Number 2435, an act establishing the Solar Home System Financing for Social Housing Program and providing funds therefore, introduced by Senator Ontiveros.
To the Committees on Urban Planning, Energy, and Finance.
Senate Number 2436, an act providing for Senate concurrence in the abrogation, termination, or repeal of treaties and international agreements, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committee on Foreign Relations.
Senate Number 2437, an act providing for the Universal Disability Support Allowance for persons with disabilities, appropriating funds therefore for other purposes, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committee on Social Justice and Finance.
Resolutions, PS Resolution Number 923, resolution directing the appropriate Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation into the continuing escalation of smuggled vegetables in the country, introduced by Senator Marcos.
To the Committee on Agriculture.
PS Resolution Number 924, resolution directing the appropriate Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the reported proliferation of smuggled carrots from China in local markets, which have detrimental effects on the income and livelihood of local farmers, particularly those in the province of Benguet, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committee on Agriculture.
PS Resolution Number 925, resolution conferment of high acclamation to Maria Angelita Reza for her historic feat as the first Filipino laureate of the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize, championing the unimpeded exercise of the constitutionally guaranteed freedoms of expression and of press, and dauntlessly exposing the truth to demand transparency and accountability, introduced by Senator Gordon.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution Number 926, resolution venerating the virtues, legacy, and life of the Honorable Jose Luis Martin Chito C. Gascon, 7th Chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights, introduced by Senator Gordon.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution Number 927, resolution conferring the Philippine Senate Medal of Excellence to Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Ressa, introduced by Senators Ontiveros, Drilon, Pangilinan, and De Lima.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution Number 928, resolution conferring the Senate Medal of Excellence to 2021 Ramon Magsaysay awardee Roberto Cadodoy Balyon, introduced by Senator Pangilinan.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 929, resolution expressing the profound sympathy and sincere condolences to the Philippine Senate on the death of Commission on Human Rights Chairperson Jose Luis Martin Chito Gascon and recognizing his legacy in the field of human rights and democracy, introduced by Senators Ontiveros, Drilon, Pangilinan, and De Lima.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 930, resolution congratulating Rappler founder and CEO Maria Ressa for being the first Filipino recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize owing to her extraordinary courage and unwavering efforts in fighting for truth, democracy, freedom of expression, and of the press, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 931, resolution expressing the sense of the Senate condemning the 4 October 2021 memorandum from the Executive Secretary directing all officials and employees of the Executive Department to no longer appear or attend the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearings on the 2020 audit report of the Commission on Audit for being violative of the Senate's power of legislative inquiry and the people's right to information, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 932, resolution honoring the late Commission on Human Rights CHR Chairperson Jose Luis Martin Chito C. Gascon for his invaluable contributions in upholding, protecting, and promoting human rights, exemplified by his crusade to stand and advocate for the sanctity of justice and human rights, even in the midst of rising threats of repression, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committee on Rules.
Committee report number 329, prepared and submitted jointly by the Committees on Trade, Commerce, and Entrepreneurship, Local Government, and Finance on Senate number 2438, with Senators Revilla Jr., Gatchalian, and Pimentel III as authors thereof, entitled An Act Promoting the One Town, One Product concept to enhance inclusive and sustainable economic development, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes, recommending its approval in substitution of Senate numbers 1896 and 2366, taking into consideration House number 9350, sponsor Senator Pimentel III.
To the calendar for ordinary business. There is additional reference to business. You may proceed.
Additional reference of business, bills on first reading. Senate number 2439, an act modifying the grounds for substitution of candidates, amending for this purpose Section 77 of Batas Pabansa bilang 881, Series 1958, otherwise known as the Omnibus Election Code, introduced by Senators Gatchalian, Zubiri, Binay, Poe, and Villanueva.
To the Committee on Electoral Reforms.
Senate number 2440, an act lowering the cost of electricity and petroleum products, introduced by Senator Recto.
To the Committee on Ways and Means and Energy.
Senate number 2441, an act declaring October 22 of every year a special non-working holiday in the municipality of Rosario, province of Cavite, in commemoration of its founding anniversary, introduced by Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committee on Local Government.
Senate number 2442, an act promoting the right to repair digital electronic products and appropriating funds therefore, introduced by Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committees on Trade and Finance.
Senate number 2444, an act reclassifying as agricultural land a parcel of land of the public domain located in Mangabul Reservation in the municipality of Bayambang, province of Pangasinan. The purpose of distributing the same to long-term farmers and occupants thereof, introduced by Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committees on Environment and Agriculture.
Resolutions. PS Resolution number 933, resolution directing the appropriate Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the reported removal of books, pamphlets, research work, or any reading material considered by the government as subversive from the libraries of state universities, thereby preventing the free exchange of ideas and curtailing of academic freedom in institutions of higher learning, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committees on Higher Education and Justice.
PS Resolution number 934, resolution directing the appropriate Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the reported sale of text blast machines on Facebook Marketplace, Philippines, and e-commerce companies such as Lazada and Shopee, and are being used for partisan political activities, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committees on Trade and Public Information.
PS Resolution number 935, resolution directing the Committee on Energy to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the reported violations of the Electric Power Industry Reform Act of 2001, RA number 9136, and rampant corruption in the transfer and award without public bidding of the contract to the Independent Electric Market Operator of the Philippines as the operator of the Philippine Wholesale Electricity Spot Market, WESM, introduced by Senator Pacquiao.
To the Committees on Accountability of Public Officers and Energy.
PS Resolution number 936, resolution commending and congratulating Filipino gymnast Carlos Edriel Yulo for winning the gold medal in the men's vault and silver medal in the men's parallel bars at the 2021 Artistic Gymnastics World Championships held in Kitakyushu, Japan, introduced by Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committee on Rules.
Resolution PS Resolution number 937, resolution directing the appropriate Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the recently reported takeover of the Benguet Electric Cooperative Beneco by the National Electrification Administration NEA with the assistance of heavily armed police officers, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committees on Energy and Public Order.
PS Resolution number 938, resolution commending and congratulating Carlos Edriel Yulo for winning a gold medal in the men's vault and a silver medal in the men's parallel bars events during the 2021 Artistic Gymnastics World Championships, introduced by Senator Lapid.
The Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 939, resolution commending and congratulating Denise Santos for winning the Outstanding Music Composition category at the 42nd Annual News and Documentary Emmy Awards, introduced by Senator Lapid.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 940, resolution commending and congratulating Carlos Edriel Yulo for winning the gold medal in the men's vault and bagging the silver medal in parallel bars at the 50th FIG Artistic Gymnastics World Championships held at the Kitakyushu City General Gymnasium in Kitakyushu, Japan, introduced by Senator Pacquiao.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 941, resolution commending and congratulating Filipino gymnast Carlos Edriel Yulo for his outstanding performance in the 2021 World Artistic Gymnastics Championships, where they captured the gold medal in the men's vault and another silver medal in the parallel bars event, introduced by Senator De Lima.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 924, resolution honoring commending Filipino gymnast Carlos Edriel Caloy Yulo for his triumphs in the 2021 Artistic Gymnastics World Championships held in Kitakyushu, Japan, introduced by Senator Villanueva.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 943, resolution recognizing and commending Cinderella Faye Obenita for being crowned as the Miss Intercontinental 2021, introduced by Senator Villanueva.
Only? What about Senator Gatchalian? He's not sponsoring this? Refer to the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution number 944, resolution congratulating and commending Carlo Francisco Manatad for winning the Best Director Award at the 2021 London East Asia Film Festival, introduced by Senator Lapid.
The Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution 945, resolution directing the appropriate Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the electric power service in the city of Baguio and 13 towns in the province of Benguet in light of the recent issues between the Benguet Electric Cooperative Inc. and the National Electrification Administration, introduced by Senator Gatchalian.
To the Committee on Energy.
Committee report number 330, prepared and submitted jointly by the Committees on Civil Service, Government Organization, and Professional Regulation, Justice and Human Rights, and Finance on Senate number 2443, with Senators Pacquiao, Revilla Jr., De La Rosa, Gordon, and Angara as authors thereof, entitled An Act Augmenting the Retirement, Death, and Survivorship Benefits of the Solicitor General, Assistant Solicitors General, Senior State Solicitors, and State Solicitors of the Office of Solicitor General, and appropriating funds therefore, recommending its approval in substitution of Senate numbers 1175, 1180, and 1277, taking into consideration House number 10007, sponsor Senator Revilla Jr.
To the calendar for ordinary business. There is a second additional reference of business.
Second additional reference of business, committee report number 331, submitted by the Committee on Justice and Human Rights on House number 9376, introduced by Representative Romualdez et al., entitled An Act Granting Philippine Citizenship to Elizabeth Eder Zobel de Ayala, recommending its approval without amendment, taking into consideration Senate number 2221, sponsor Senator Gordon.
To the calendar for ordinary business. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We have a very light schedule today. We have two measures on the agenda for interpellation. The first one is Senate Bill number 2239. However, I spoke to Senator Pia. She's just ironing out some differences with the sponsor, Senator Ralph Recto. So we'll allow them to discuss that measure further. Mr. President, therefore, I move to resume consideration of Senate Bill, the second item, Senate Bill number 1411. I so move, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, consideration of 1411 is in order.
We have with us the sponsor, Senator Rizzo Ontiveros, and I believe no other member wishes to interpolate the measure. This is the Solo Parenting Benefits Act. Therefore, with the permission of the body, Mr. President, as earlier agreed upon during the caucus, we move to close the period of interpellation.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of interpellation is closed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Salamat kaayo, Majority Leader.
you
Mr.
very much.
President,
Yes, Senator Ontiveros.
Thank you, Mr. President. And with the indulgence of the majority leader, I'd just like to make a brief manifestation for the record, Mr. President.
Yes, please. Please,
Go ahead.
Idol.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to update our colleagues, as I have updated the Senate President, the Majority Leader, and the committee chairpersons of Finance, Senator Sonny, and Ways and Means, Senator Pia, we have reached an agreement with the Department of Finance on the provision on additional benefits to solo parents. At the proper time, I will be amending the provision on universal discounts for all solo parents and replacing it with targeted subsidies for indigent solo parents. A proposal for which we have finally received support from the DOF as well as from the DILG. And as the majority leader already said, Mr. President, I had received word that no member wishes to interpolate the measure any longer. And I just close, Mr. President, this brief manifestation with a commitment from my end to consider your amendments, dear colleagues, and answer any clarificatory questions that you may still have at the proper time. Marami pong salamat, Mr. President, at sa inyo pong lahat, mga kasamang senador.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
Okay, to allow our colleagues to study the amendments further, Mr. President, we move to suspend consideration of the same.
Any objection? Hearing none, consideration of the measure suspended.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, on the other item of the agenda for sponsorship, this is the Marawi compensation measure. I believe Senator Ralph Rector, our distinguished Senate President Pro Tem, would wish to co-sponsor the measure, but he asked me to just place it on, you will just submit it. I believe he's nodding his head, that it will just be submitted for the record, Mr. President, his sponsorship speech.
All right, the sponsor, co-sponsorship speech of the President Pro Tem is inserted into the records.
That's correct, Mr. President. Thank you. Mr. President, I may ask for a 1-minute suspension. Just a one.
Session suspended.
239. But our colleague last to interpolate, Senator Pia, is she online? Unfortunately, she's not online, Mr. President, Senator Cayetano. So once again, moving forward, we have with us, what is the committee report number? I move to transfer from the calendar of ordinary business to special order. House Bill number 9376 under committee report number 331.
Any objection? Hearing none, so transferred.
Mr. President, I move to consider House Bill number 9376.
Any objection? Hearing none, 9376 is considered.
Mr. President, may we recognize, I will ask the Secretary to read the title of the measure.
Secretary will read the title of the measure.
House Bill number 9376, an act granting Philippine citizenship to Elizabeth Eder Rosobel de Ayala.
Mr. President, may we recognize the sponsor, Senator Richard J. Gordon, to sponsor the measure.
Senator Richard Gordon is recognized to sponsor the measure.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, my fellow citizens, magandang hapon po. What a great privilege and honor to stand here before you this afternoon to sponsor the granting of Philippine citizenship to Mrs. Elizabeth Eder Sobel de Ayala, Mr. President. Not because she is a woman of means in terms of pecuniary, which is the pedestrian way of saying they have money and they should be a citizen. In this particular instance, it doesn't apply to her because she acts already like a Filipino, not conscious of her trappings or her titles here in the Philippines or her prominence of the provenance of her family, but because here in this particular instance we have a Filipino, we have a person applying for Filipino citizenship by choice. She's a Colombian originally and an American citizen that grew up in Texas and Colombia. She's educated in great universities like Boston College in the United States, Mr. President, and by her own track record, Mr. President, she has done a lot of things in the country already by really training teachers in science and in education. 50 science teachers from a nonprofit organization, Teach for the Philippines, where Mrs. Sobel is a founding member, find ways and means to provide digital tools to create more effective and engaging science teachers. We all know that we need to be science-oriented in our country. Mrs. Sobel, Mr. President, has been in the Philippines for 34 years. And after 34 years, you wonder why only now. Well, probably because she was concentrating on making sure that her children who were born Filipinos were all educated in great universities abroad like Harvard and Brown and in Lawrence School in New Jersey, Mr. President. So, Mr. President, great family woman, great wife of a very, very strong business family, businessman, Jaime Sobel de Ayala, and comes from a family of a great reputation in our country. She goes outside the circle of her family, as I said, not only for teachers, but comes out and promotes education, culture, health, and well-being of people who are less materially endowed. And because of that, Mr. President, she has also led in terms of being a member of the Board of Trustees of the Philippine Center for Population and Development. It aims to have a quality population, Mr. President, a resource institution for the Philippine Population Program. It has since decided to transition from grant giving to becoming a social enterprise, from sourcing funds to providing health care for women and children, particularly services that promote their reproductive health and well-being, and of course, making them self-conscious of their ability to help themselves and to cooperate with the rest of the community to uplift themselves. Mr. President, the author, A Damaged Culture, Mr. James Fallows, said at one time, I don't know if I should really quote him, but I think it's he sometimes, I think, speaks with a ring of truth to it. According to him, this is a country where the national ambition is to change your nationality. Close quotes, Mr. President. It would appear that we have over 8 to 10 million Filipinos working abroad, trying to find their future in foreign lands and not in our country. But here, the reverse is true. We have a Miss Elizabeth, Mrs. Elizabeth Suelda Ayala now transitioning from her citizenship and becoming a Filipino by choice. Many of us are born by accident, Mr. President. But as I told Mrs. Suelda Ayala, she, like my father, elected or opted to be a Filipino by choice. And therefore, she really wants to be a Filipino. And by any definition of the word, Mr. President, citizenship is something that is earned. It is something that is lived, that is practiced. It is not a title or a source of identification alone. It is a way upon which we make the country enrich
But
by becoming an active member of the Filipino nation. Because national naturalization laws serve to unite the national community to strengthen its identity and revitalize the values of loyalty, allegiance to country, and individual sacrifice for the common good. This, in turn, is seen to enhance the symbolic significance of citizenship. The act of naturalization, Mr. President, thus focuses on the identification and assimilation. We always say that about the Chinese or the Indian members of our country that have been assimilated. But more especially, I'd like to think that it is a transformation of the subjects of our country into full participants that are active, that really love the country, and show it every day of their lives. Having said that, Mr. President, not only does she come from the progeny of well-respected individuals, she herself has earned that by her every word and deed in her stay of 34 years in our country. And that is why I am privileged today to join the author, Senator Drilon, Senator Recto, Senator Zubiri, other senators here that have co-authored this resolution, Mr. President, along with Lisa Hontiveros, Sani Angara, and Joel Villanueva. All good senators who ought to know what they're doing, and I think they do know what they're doing, and not just giving a favor of citizenship, but welcoming into the arms of the Filipino nation a worthy citizen. Having said that, Mr. President, I join with the House from which this bill emanated from and mention Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, his wife Yeda Marie Romualdez, Juan Miguel Macapagal Arroyo, Maria Lourdes de Arroyo, our friend Tony Pet Albano, the son of a fellow delegate to the Constitutional Convention, Jerry Boy Espina et al., in this bill that will finally grant Philippine citizenship to Elizabeth Sobel. For the above mentioned reasons, Mr. President, I would like to ask that this unanimously be approved post haste, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Mr. President,
Yes, Senator Drilon is recognized.
yes, with the permission of the principal sponsor and the chamber, may I be allowed to deliver a short co-sponsorship speech? Mr. President, this chamber has granted Filipino citizenships to different personalities in the past, but perhaps few are as remarkable as the person whose citizenship is being endorsed today by the Committee on Justice headed by no less than Senator Richard Gordon. I have filed Senate Bill number 2221 because of my great conviction that Elizabeth Eder Lisi Sobeldi Ayala deserves all the rights, privileges, and prerogatives that come with being a Filipino. Following her marriage with Atu Jaime Augusto Sobeldi Ayala in 1987, she dedicated her life to various socio-economic civic activities in the Philippines, championing causes on literacy, education, and family planning, among others. She founded and co-founded various organizations such as Museo Pambata, Friendly Care Foundation, Aklat Sisikat Foundation, Teach for Philippines, and Center for Asian Philanthropy and Society. Served on the board of the National Museum of the Philippines and staunchly advocated her reproductive health advocated for reproductive health as a national policy in the Philippines. The extraordinary thing about Lisi is that privilege does not make her rest in comfort. Instead, it drives her to serve the larger community around her, inspiring and initiating change, restoring hope, and helping build a nation which she has adopted as her own. All her four children are Filipinos, as pointed out by Senator Gordon. Each has been educated in the best schools abroad and therefore, and before getting involved in the family business in the Philippines, has strived to earn stripes away from the family's influence and stature, testament to the kind of upbringing that gives a premium to discipline, merit, and heart. Elizabeth Lici Ederzubel de Ayala is a wife, is a mother, and a grandmother to all Filipinos. She has served the nation and its people well. Although she has been in the country for more than 3 decades now, it will be a real honor to finally call her a fellow citizen, a fellow Filipino. It is therefore our great honor to be able to join Senator Richard Gordon in asking this chamber to approve the grant of citizenship to Elizabeth Lisi Eder Zubel de Ayala. Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I see Senator Villar raising her hand and Senator Risa Ontiveros, Mr. President.
Senator Cynthia Villar is recognized.
I think she's on mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to manifest that I be made a co-sponsor of the bill. Thank you. Nadinig ba?
Yes. Senator Ontiveros recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the kind indulgence of the chairman, Senator Dick, and the principal author, Minority Leader Sen Frank, may I be allowed to submit my manifestation in writing to fully flesh out that though I can hardly add to the comprehensive presentation of our good chairman and the good minority leader about all the substantive reasons that the Senate is happy to pass this bill today, may I just add my words of why we feel so happy about passing this bill? Because Ms. Lizzie Eder Sobel de Ayala has embraced our country and our people in so many loving ways for a long time, that at this time, when our country faces so many challenges and the reflex of others might be flight, she chooses with us to fight and to continue loving. So bukod sa pagiging kapwa babae niya o kabaro at isa na ring kaibigan, ipinagmamalaki ko at ikinaliligaya na yakapin din siya ngayon bilang isang kababayan. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Yes, Senator Marcos. Senator Amy Marcos is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and I would like to support and request that I be made co-author, having had the privilege and the opportunity of meeting on many occasions Lizzie Sobel, a remarkable Filipino mother with her delightful children who went to school with mine. Thank you very much.
All right, Majority Leader.
Yes, President.
Mr. President,
Senator Villanueva also would like to.
Senator Villanueva.
thank you, Mr. President. And this is just to put on record that this representation would like to just submit, if I may, Mr. President, a short co-sponsorship speech, being one of the co-authors of this measure. And let me place on record my sincerest thanks to our dear Chairman, Senator Dick Gordon, Senator Drilon, and other senators sponsoring the measure. Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As said by my other colleagues as well, Mr. President, I'm a co-sponsor of the measure, and we're very proud to have her as a Filipino citizen. As I mentioned during our speech, when we delivered it during the committee hearing, that the beneficiary of this measure has so many NGOs that she supports in this country the last 30 years that she's been living here. Well deserved, indeed, to be made a Filipino citizen. Therefore, with that, Mr. President, to allow our colleagues to study this further, but I promise to take this up again tomorrow to approve, since there will be nobody who will go against this measure. We suspend consideration for the meantime for 1 day, Mr. President. Under
All
our not rules, but
Tradition.
under our tradition.
Yes, any objection? Hearing none, consideration suspended.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, no other topics to be taken up for today. We remind our,
No, there is a,
oh, we have a BICAM report. My apologies. Wait 1 second. We have a BICAM report, Mr. President. It was on my table. I missed it. I move that, we're in receipt, Mr. President, for the record, the Bicameral Conference Committee report of the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 2373 and House Bill number 9087. This is the survivorship benefits of a deceased retired member of the National Prosecution Service. With the permission of the body, Mr. President, may we recognize a distinguished colleague, the chairperson of the Committee on Justice, no other than Senator Richard J. Gordon.
Senator Richard Gordon is recognized.
I mean, it's suspension, Mr. President. I'm just looking for the documents because it got, here we go, Mr. President. Sorry, we can go ahead, Mr. President. I'm sorry. Mr. President, once again, esteemed colleagues of the Senate and fellow citizens, the Committee on Justice and Human Rights now presents the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of the House Bill number 9087 and Senate Bill number 2373 after having met and having fully discussed the said provisions, and we hereby report and we all hereby report to our respective houses the following: that 1, the conferees agreed to use the House version as the working draft. 2, Section 1 of the working draft was adopted as Section 1 of the reconciled version with the following amendments. On page 2, line 10, after the word receive, add the phrase during his or her lifetime. Period. The words during his or her lifetime is of course quoted, and on the same page, lines 12 to 14, after the word benefits, delete the entire clause beginning from the colon on line 12 after the word benefits on line 14. And number 3, Section 2 of the working draft was adopted as Section 2 of the reconciled version. Number 4, Section 3 of the working draft was adopted as Section 3 of the reconciled version with the following amendment. On page 2, line 20, replace the phrase, and I quote, spouse, dependent children, or parents, close quotes, with the phrase, open quotation, spouse and dependent children, close quote, semicolon. Number 5, Section 4 of the working draft was adopted as Section 4 of the reconciled version. Number 6, Section 5 of the working draft was adopted as Section 5 of the reconciled version. Number 7, Section 6 of the working draft was adopted as Section 6 of the reconciled version. And number 8, the title of the working draft was adopted as the title of the reconciled bill. In case of a conflict between the statements, amendments stated in the joint explanation and that of the provisions of the reconciled bill in the accompanying conference committee report, the provisions of the latter shall prevail. The objective of the bill is to grant survivorship benefits to the families of the prosecutors of the National Prosecution Service, or NPS, in recognition of the sacrifice they have made and continue to make, risking personal safety and that of their families. The benefit shall be such as to grant in respect of the contingency in service, such as unexpected deaths, in view of the risk and hazards of their profession, a continuation of the payment of pension of the prosecutors to the surviving spouse and or qualified dependent children. With the passage of the bill, the state will be able to take care of the dependents of the prosecutors. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
With that, Mr. President,
Yes.
yes, thank you. With that, Mr. President, I move that we adopt and ratify the Bicameral Conference Committee report on disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 2373 and House Bill number 9087. And let the text of the joint explanation be inserted into the records of the chamber. So moved.
Any objection? There being none, the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill 2373 and House Bill 9087 is hereby adopted and ratified.
Congratulations are in order to our chairman, very hardworking Senator Richard Gordon. So hardworking that we are now going to designate Mr. President, the Bicameral Conference Committee. So tuloy-tuloy ang trabaho ng ating chairman. With the permission of the body, I move that we proceed with the Senate President's designation of the Senate Conference of the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1947 and House Bill number 9086.
All right, the following members are hereby designated as Senate Conferees to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing provision of Senate Bill 1947 and House Bill 9086. Senator Richard Gordon as chairperson, and members, Senators Lacson, Angara, Zubiri, and Drilon.
Thank you
So
very-
designated.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This is the Philippine Judiciary Marshal Service Act. So thank you. With that, Mr. President, we have no other items on the agenda. I move that we adjourn session until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Tuesday, November 9, 2021. Maraming salamat po.
Any
Mr.
objection?
President, before we adjourn, I just would like to thank the body for their support. It was a clean slate today, Mr. President. I batted 3 times and I got 3 bills approved. And now we're working on a 4th one. Thank you all very much. And I'm very proud to work with this wonderful Senate. Thank you, sir.
No strike.
Congratulations,
No
congratulations.
strike. Yeah, thank you. Just a simple warning. When the majority leader said today is a very calm agenda, this is the calm before the storm.
It's the calm before the storm, yes.
The
It's the
storm
budget.
comes tomorrow. All right. Thank you. Any objection? Hearing none. Session is adjourned until 3 o'clock in the afternoon of Tuesday, November 9, 2021.
Thank you, everyone.
Congrats.